Hello, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about how to secure Web API with JWT authentication. First, let's set up the programming environment. You can skip this section if you have already set up your environment. It is crucial that you install IIS first. Installing IIS before Visual Studio will make life easier. Now, go to System Settings. Select Optional Feature. Click More Windows Features. Click the Internet Information Services. Make sure to select Sub-Features as I do. Also, IIS can be installed from the Control Panel. Type Control Panel here. Click Programs and Features. Next, let's install Visual Studio. Download Visual Studio Installer from Microsoft. Click Open File to begin. Select ASP.NET and Web Development from the left. Select the same item on the right as I do. Click the Install button to start. Visual Studio installation complete. Okay, let's download and install Postman. You can search with Google or download Postman at this website. Okay, now let's create the JWT project. A detailed description of JWT can be found on this website. You may choose to read this description before starting or not. Let's talk about how it works. First, the client calls the login method on the server. If successful, the server returns the JWT token. Next, the client puts the JWT token into the request authentication header. Then, the client uses the request to access other server methods that require authentication. Now, let's start Visual Studio. Select ASP.NET Core Web API project. Let's use JWT Demo as the project name. Add the JWT NuGet reference. Click Manage NuGet Packages. Search for JWT Bearer. Select this package and then click Install on the right. OK, package has been installed. Click Program.cs. Import configuration. Add authentication service. Import issuer configuration from App Settings. Import audience configuration from App Settings. Import secret key configuration from App Settings. Secret key can be generated from this website or yourself. Set JWT token timeout for 30 seconds. Make sure the use authentication is before the use authorization. Create the account controller. Get the app settings from dependency injection. Create the login method. Use the allow anonymous annotation. I will change the method to HTTP post later in this video. We need to create two classes, the user login response and the user login request. User login request provide username and password to the login method. Login response return the JWT token to the client. We will implement the login check later in this video. Right now, let's focus on JWT. If successful, the login method returns the username and JWT token to the client. Then, the client will use the JWT token to access another method requiring authentication. Claims contain username, role, and token timestamp. Next, let's create a method for the authorization test. Authorize annotation is needed if a method requires authentication. We can get claims username and role from client if correct token is provided. Now let's run the program and have a test. Launch the Postman and fill in the URL. Provide username and password in JSON format. Now we get the JWT token. Let's insert a breakpoint here. Let's test the getTest method. We can't access the method without JWT token. Copy the JWT token from login method and fill it to the authorization header of the getTest request. Now request success. Let's add database support. Add Sqlite extension from the market. For simplification, let's add an Sqlite database as an example. You can add other databases if you want. Follow the instruction and restart the Visual Studio. Create a Sqlite database using the extension. When building the project, copy the database to the output folder every time. Add more NuGet extensions for database support. EntityFramework is required at this moment. Download and install EntityFramework core. Then EntityFramework core design. EntityFramework core Sqlite. EntityFramework Core Tools. Last one, Identity. Add Demo User Class. Demo User Class is inherited from Identity User. We just added a demo field as an example, you can add your own field here. Next, add a DB Context class. Add database support in the program.cs. Add the connection string in the app settings. Set the password requirement here. Initialize the database using Package Manager console. Database has been initialized. Next, let's add the user registration method. Import the sign-in manager and the user manager. Now the registration method. Add two classes. The response and the request. Create user with user manager. Change the method from HTTP GET to HTTP POST. Login user with sign-in manager. Okay, let's add some breakpoints and begin the test. Launch the program. Make sure you input the correct URL. First, register a new user. Okay, we have a new user registered. Check the database, make sure the user is in the database. Alright, let's log in with the new user. User login success with JWT token. Now let's test the getTest method with the JWT token provided. Alright, let's deploy the application to the IIS. Go to Control Panel and launch the IIS Manager. Add the demo website. Then publish the website to the IIS. Okay, let's test the website with Postman. If you don't provide the token, you can't access the method. Alright, that is all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time.